that time of year again to get all of our raspberries pruned. I have summer bearing and fall bearing raspberries, and both of them are pruned differently. The fall bearing raspberries are pruned all the way to the ground. In the summer bearing raspberries, you only take out the dead canes, and also you want to open up the raspberries to space them about 4 to 6 inches apart. The fall bearing raspberries are also called primal cane fruiting. You can just prune them down if you want to get a summer yield and a fall yield, but I prefer to cut them all the way to the ground and get one big harvest in the fall. The summer bearing raspberries, you'll get an early summer crop, and I like having them both times of the year. It does not feel quite as overwhelming to do that. For the fall bearing raspberries, it's fine to prune them this time of year. You can either do it in late fall or early spring, and that's for Michigan. It may be different elsewhere. The summer bearing, you're supposed to do that in the late summer or the early fall. I usually miss it and do it in the spring, and it's fine. I always have a great crop of raspberries still, but I try to always get them before they come out of dormancy. And right now everything is still dormant. For the summer bearing, you'll want to remove the weak, the damaged, and the diseased canes. You'll want to cut all of the canes that have fruited last year. So I'm going to start on the easiest one, the fall bearing. All we have to do with that is cut it to the ground. You can take a weed whacker or something like that and just cut them down. I will just take my pruning shears and cut them down that way. And you could pretty much cut them almost all the way to the ground. I usually leave about this much out of the soil. So let's get started. So we'll just go in here and cut each of these down. They prune up really easy and fast. Okay, now it's time to prune up our summer bearing raspberries. Basically, all I'm going to do here is I'm going to cut out all the old canes, the diseased canes, anything like that. I may trim off a few of the taller ones, trim them down a little bit. So this one requires a little more work because I have to be more selective with what I'm cutting out, because if you cut good canes to the ground, they will not produce fruit this year. I made the mistake last year of having some mixed in, and I need to move those. But I cut them ones down, and I did not get fruit off of them last year. So it's time to get these pruned. So we have a dead cane here. You can always tell by the bark. It always has like a dead look to it, so you can usually tell by that. These two here are really close together. I would normally take the middle one, but I think I'm going to take this one because it's close to the edge and it's got a little damage here on the bark. Cut this one out. This one probably should come out, but I think I'm going to leave it. If you have to choose between two, choose the healthiest and the biggest looking cane to leave. These two here, this is the smaller one. This is out towards the edge, and I probably should take this one, but I think I'll take this one because it's smaller and just leave the other one. The reason for thinning them out is so there's more airflow and they get more sunlight, and they'll produce more by getting rid of some of the extras. This one's kind of spindly, but I'll just leave that one. Before I finish working on the raspberries, I'll show you what it looks like out here in the garden this time of year when things are still dead and still need to be cleaned up, just so you can get an idea of what the plan is. So here's the raspberries, and my summer bearers are right here, and the rest of them are fall bearing. I'll take you down and show you where the blackberries are. They're down here. So here's the blackberries, and they are going crazy. In fact, right here I have a cane that's buried up because it rooted in the ground, and so I moved it to a better spot, and I'll just cut that top off above some leaves, and I'll let it just grow, and it'll grow into another plant. So I could always take this and bury it up in the ground, and it would grow roots also. So that's a good way to get new plants started. And this is the blackberry plant. It's a thornless blackberry. So we'll start over here. I'll show you, this is our compost pile. I do composting the lazy way, and I'll explain that later. And basically it's just composting on the ground. I just pile it up and I just keep adding to it, and when it's ready I start using it. So, but I'll explain later how I do it, because I'll probably take one of our other piles and start adding to that, and if I'm raking up leaves I can add to that. Show you down here, this is outside of the regular garden. We have leaves on that garden bed right over there, and that's going to be potatoes. We have a pretty big potato bed. I have more composting spots down there getting ready to bring up. So we have our fruit trees in here. We have our strawberries in here. I'm starting a new row where that pitchfork is, and I will let these two rows here, I'll let them produce this year, but then I'll take them out and then plant in new plants. I'll show you how I start new plants. I've only got one tray left. With this weed barrier down, the new babies can't start in the middle. So what I did is I took a flat of dirt and laid it in here. You can see the tray here with dirt, and the babies rooted in there. So I have several babies that are growing in here, and this one actually wintered over. Even though I didn't even have it covered up, it still wintered over. So now I know these are fresh new babies. I can move them over. I may actually dig up the end of one of these rows and get it started this year, because the soil's not great down there. That way I can amend it and get started down there to move these strawberries there. And I showed you in a previous video the scrape arbor. My husband built that for me last year, and I just love it. So the idea here is to let them grow up and grow on these cattle panels. So we'll most likely keep this bottom part all trimmed up. I have a big mess in most of the garden to clean up, but this area here is mostly herbs and flowers. And on the end I have blueberries and rhubarb. And here I have garlic. I planted this last fall, and some of it's coming up. It's always so exciting whenever I see new green emerging from the soil. I already talked about this area last time I did a video, but this is what it looks like this time of year. Now that the snow is all gone. So over there on that side, it's all mostly perennial stuff, like the fruit and the trees. And then over here, this is all where the tomatoes and peppers and cucumbers. And I have brassicas over here, and then I have sunflowers over there. I'm excited to get started planting, but I still have about 2 months before we'll be doing very much planting out here. All right, I got them all pruned. So you can see here they're thinned out quite a bit. And here it's cut all the way down. So this plant here, I accidentally planted it down here. So the plan is to dig that up and plant it down here with the other summer bearing varieties. So I didn't prune this one because if you prune it, you won't get any berries this year. So you can see that I got these all pruned. I still have a mess to clean up, but I actually have to take off, so I will have to clean it up another day. Thank you for taking the time to join me while I pruned up my raspberries. I always love this time of year. Today it's in the 50s here in Michigan, and it feels so good to get outside, hear the birds singing, and just enjoy the outdoors. Comment down below and let me know what you're doing in your garden this time of year. I hope that you're all having a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.